Shall we begin?
May as well rise up. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome. Join us in singing. Join us in prayer. Join us in touching hearts of people everywhere. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome.
Try that again. Hey, oh, there we are. Good morning, everyone. You know, unity just keeps knocking down all these little dreams I had as a kid, like sitting behind my drum kit with a microphone, having conversations with people. It's like, I've arrived. When I was a little kid, too, I used to think it would be really great. My friend had a really big property, and his dad had a motorized lawnmower. And I thought, wow, he's made it, right? Because he had this, this is the 70s, right?
I still think that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I agree
so
with
when
that.
we moved here to Nanaimo, the house we bought came with a motorized lawnmower that you could sit on, and I was like, I've done it, man. Anyhow, today we are coming to you from the traditional and unceded territory of many nations on Vancouver Island. And so we'd like to start by acknowledging them and welcoming all of you here and all of those out in cyber world for being with us. It's a great privilege to be here with you. Unity is a positive spiritual path for living. All are welcome and included in our message.
God is live.
Yeah.
I'll just hold this on.
I have more mixed up there, sorry.
It's all good, man.
God is love, that love surrounds me. In that love I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me. In that love I safely dwell. God is love, pure love. God is love, sweet love. That love is mine, mine, and all is well. God is life, that life surrounds me. In that life I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me. In that life I safely dwell. God is life, pure life. God is life, sweet life. That life is mine, mine, and all is well. God is health, that health surrounds me. In that health I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me. In that health I safely dwell. God is health, pure health. God is health, sweet health. That health is mine, mine, and all is well. Good singing, guys. It sounded great.
It's a tricky little one with all those moving around.
It is a tricky
right?
little one.
We got good singers, though.
Now for something entirely different. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness. Only wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Good job, guys.
Technology. It's all around us. Join me. It is us. Is that what you said? Yeah, technology. It is us. Just invite you all to just join me and just bring ourselves present to the space wherever you are. Acknowledge this opportunity to be together. This opportunity to share in community. And to share in this great unfolding of love, of light, and of spirit. We say thank you for this. Words of wisdom. It always gets me, the words of wisdom. Leading up to this, though, today, I had this great privilege this past week of having to write a paper for one of my classes, and it was the class on spiritual dynamics. And I noticed I was having some huge pushback with what they were asking me to write about. And I really hate labels. Like, I've just, as a musician, I always like, what kind of band are you in? What kind of music? Like, I just have always had a challenge with that. And so they wanted me to label unity and Christianity and come up with all of these things and how I felt about it. And my immediate response was, I don't want anything to do with this assignment, and can I just write that? And so so I procrastinated, and I had a talk yesterday morning that I was doing on Insight Timer, and it was on one of the 12 powers. And so I referenced my Charles Fillmore 12 Powers book, which was written in 1930, and it was on imagination. So I was doing imagination. And in the final page, the final sort of couple of paragraphs, Charles writes this: according to Genesis, the original creation was ideal, and through man, the ideal was given character and form. Adam gave character to all the beasts of the field, and whatever the human called every living creature, that was the name thereof. To the spiritually wise, it is revealed that when the human is fully redeemed, they will redeem and purify and uplift the animals in themselves. The animal world will go through a complete transformation when the race is redeemed. As Isaiah says, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. Some even go farther than this and say that in the millennium there will be no necessity for animals, that they are, in reality, the dissipated forces of the human family, and that when those forces are finally gathered into the original fount in the subjective, there will be no more animals in the objective. That in this way humans will be immensely strengthened, and a certain connection will be made between the so-called material and the spiritual. Now, Charles has a lot of words sometimes that he likes to use. That's just the way his brain thinks. But what was really being pushed at in me in this class was integral. How could we integrate all levels of spirituality? How could we integrate all ideas into unity so that all people are served? So in the world of spiral dynamics, you have all of these different levels of humanity and consciousness and spirituality. And none of them are better than the other. None of them are worse than the other. And we operate in all of them. However, people can get stuck in certain areas and want it to be this way. And how can we evolve ourselves into integrating all of these things together? And that's kind of what Charles was talking about with the animal world, where the lion shall lay with the lamb, and the lion will eat of straw. To me, that was really integrating all of it. And from that, I was actually able to write my paper, although it was late, and come to a place where oh, I really get what they're asking me now. They're really asking me is how can we integrate and be inclusive and have all people striving for a higher purpose in their life, yet not worried about the level that they're at, like it's a wrong or a bad thing. It's just where they're at. And so I was very appreciative of that. And then today's daily word was inspiration. I move in harmony with the creative flow of inspiration. Sometimes I feel inspired by the words of others, and sometimes I'm inspired more by action. Today I take my inspiration from the story of Charles Fillmore, a businessman who marveled at his wife's complete healing from serious illness. This prompted him to embark upon an intense period of prayer, meditation, and study that led to the founding in 1889 of Unity, which has become a global spiritual community. I take this story to heart and find my inspiration in my feelings of awe and wonder, love, or even healthy curiosity. Feeling an awakening of inspiration within me, I center my awareness in God. Divinely inspired, I move in harmony with the creative flow that blesses the work of my mind, my heart, and my hands. So I was very pleased that I had this journey this past week of pushback and argument within myself, and I don't want to do this. And then over the last 2 days, I've been able to find some text that has really given me some space to go, oh, I see what we're really trying to do here is we're really trying to come together as one. And how can we do that? And what are all the different layers and levels that we need to bring together in order to do that? Thank you. Let's sing.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how.
it's not difficult to make that decision when you're with this group. Welcome, everybody. I started to make this talk this morning about prayer. Since the formation of Unity Vancouver Island, there have been people from the previous prayer ministries in Victoria, Comox Valley, and Unity. And we've had a number of Zoom meetings about how we can come together to best serve all of Vancouver Island and beyond. And during those discussions, we have been conscious yet again of, oh my goodness, something on the bottom side of this is going, anyway. We have become conscious yet again of the need to remind ourselves, both long-term Unity students and those just beginning their journey into metaphysics, just what the word prayer means to us. So we are not changing God's mind about us. We are changing our minds about God. We're not asking God for something. We're coming to a different understanding about the very nature of God, an understanding of the divine as presence, as power, as process, as the life force itself, and as responsive to us. Not responsive to our needs or our wants, but responsive to our expectations and our beliefs. So metaphysicians believe that thoughts transmit an energy, and that energy is magnetic. It attracts to it other energies of the same frequency. So whether we're conscious of it or not, our thoughts are transmitting an energy that's attracting more of the same. When we remain focused on our intentions, we will draw more of that into our lives. When we remain focused on our struggles and our unhappiness and our problems and our challenges, we will draw more of that into our lives. And that's where prayer comes in. It's doing it again. No, I'm going to have to turn it out. Sorry. I hope I can see it. There we are. Since the formation of Unity Vancouver, oops. That's where prayer comes in. Okay.
It's us. No, it's us.
We are one.
So we pray in order to align ourselves with the divine nature and to allow ourselves to be inwardly guided to our good. Our guidance comes from within. And through affirmative prayer, we help to co-create the good that's possible in our lives. So in Unity, prayer is not seen as a technique for changing God's mind or winning some type of influence, but as I said, it's about changing our minds about God, challenging our very ideas about what God is. And it's about aligning ourselves with the Spirit, the breath of God flowing through us, thereby changing us. So prayer is about our connection with the one creative force of the entire universe. And it's the way we seek to attune ourselves to be in accord with the divine. That's what we're doing with prayer. And to us, meditation is a form of prayer, a type of creative thinking and non-thinking that heightens our link to the divine and therefore brings forth our wisdom and our healing and our prosperity and everything good. And Unity also teaches a form of affirmative prayer called denials and affirmations, which is a way to root out the negative, erroneous thinking that's guiding our lives, weeding that out and replacing it with more positive thoughts. And again, that's what our prayer guides or prayer chaplains do when they pray with you. They see the truth of you and they do affirmations. So we have kind of two levels of prayer services here. We have a prayer team, which anybody can join and anybody can request prayer from. Anybody who wants to join, just let me know. And currently there are about 20 members, and when they receive a prayer request, either that's put in the box at service or emailed in or telephoned in, that prayer request is distributed to the whole team. And each of them pray in their own way, but always seeing the truth and the potential of you for 30 days. And those prayers are also forwarded on to Silent Unity, where they're prayed over for 30 days. And incidentally, anyone can contact Silent Unity 24/7 to request prayer. Just Google Silent Unity. And then we have another level of prayer available to you. You can meet with one of our prayer practitioners after service here, and this morning our prayer practitioner is Iris. In Comox Valley, there's a regular prayer team, and these people have been trained at a higher level, and they meet together every 2 weeks to pray together for you. And we have Diane Jung in Comox who leads that, and Charlene in Victoria. Always, when you request prayer, your name and your request can be kept confidential, or it can be shared with the prayer team. That's your preference. Just let us know. Sometimes in New Thought, prayer is called treatment. You know, when you have a physical challenge, you go for treatment, don't you? Chiropractic treatment, or homeopathic treatment, or surgical treatment, or pharmaceutical treatment. When we have a mental or spiritual challenge, we treat, and we treat with prayer. And sometimes called spiritual mind treatment. So we have an expression called treat and move your feet. And that's the perfect segue into today's talk. Can spirituality be political? So Unity's 5th basic principle is, anybody? Right. It is not enough to know, you must act. And even if that action becomes political, because ultimately everything we do is political in some level. Charles Fillmore wrote, "So many people pray and pray and pray. It is not altogether praying, but it is doing. You must do something." And then Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, wrote, "One's mind should swing from inspiration to action, from contemplation to accomplishment, from prayer to performance." So these days we hear that phrase, thoughts and prayers, quite a bit, don't we? Our thoughts and prayers are with you. And it's used a lot by politicians wanting to express their sorrow, or wanting to appear to express their sorrow without having any intention of taking any action to correct things, right? A Jesuit priest named James Martin writes, and he's talking about gun violence in the US. He says, "I don't mind thoughts and prayers as long as A, people are actually thinking of ways to console the bereaved and help end the scourge of gun violence, and B, people are actually praying. Thoughts and prayers necessitates thinking and praying. Both should lead to action." So it's not enough to sit here enjoying my spiritual awareness. I must use that awareness to do something. Because you see, action and prayer are interdependent. They need each other, they demand each other. Jim Rosemergy, who's a Unity minister, writes, "Action without prayer leads to exhaustion. Prayer without actions leads to self-absorption." And Marion Woodman, who's a Canadian author, writes, "Continuing to do pioneering sacred work in a world as crazy and painful as ours, without constantly grounding yourself in sacred practice, would be like running into a forest fire wearing nothing but a paper tutu." But we see this all the time, don't we? People become passionate about something, they become activists, and they end up burning out and then spewing hate and anger all over the place and doing as much harm as good if they haven't done their spiritual practice, or if they don't have a spiritual practice. They haven't developed the emotional and spiritual intelligence necessary to be effective and to maintain a compassionate heart. Because the energy systems in the political world are turbulent and toxic. We must be strong if we want to act effectively in that arena. You know, we may or may not take part in political activities. It may or may not be something that calls to us. But if it is, we must prepare ourselves as spiritual warriors. That's one of the paradoxes of life, is that often it takes spiritual warriorship in order to bring about peace. The beloved community that Thomas spoke about a few weeks ago. And possibly the two most significant life journeys of this century have been Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. They were political. spiritual warriors. So sometimes thoughts and prayers is all we can offer. So do that. But sometimes it's possible and appropriate to take action. So do that. Prayer changes the one who prays, not God, because God is changeless, eternal. If we pray and do not change, then the prayer has been effective. Because change out there, as we know, is always caused by change in here. So there comes a time when we have to decide not to be compassionate by proxy, but to take direct action to alleviate suffering of one another and of ourselves collectively. So the question arises, should spirituality be political? Well, we're very often wary in this discipline because as a Canadian charity, we are not supposed to be political. But just what does that mean? Well, I looked it up. What it means is that a charity is prohibited from directly or indirectly supporting or opposing a political party or candidate for public office. And I have absolutely no desire to do that. However, since 2018, Revenue Canada has permitted, and I quote, charities to carry on unlimited public policy dialogue and development activities, PPDDAs. It's there in the Act, yes. PPDDAs generally involve seeking to influence the laws, policies, or decisions of a government. Don't you think it would be a good idea to have what we teach influence the laws, policies, and decisions of our government?
Yeah.
So I think we not only could, but should have a lot of PPDDAs. And isn't that what our spirituality calls us to do? It demands of us. I think so. And Unity Worldwide thinks so too. I'd like to read to you Unity's Statement of Social Action position. Webster defines the word unity as the state of forming a complete and pleasing whole. At this time in the evolution of the planet and the lives of human beings upon it, the task of forming a complete and pleasing whole is the imperative for positive evolution and a harmonious existence for all. This perspective has seemingly been lost. Our wholeness, our oneness, our sameness as a human race. We must now remember more than ever that we have much more in common than that which divides us. The Unity movement stands for and will tirelessly work for harmony, so all people may know the freedom of peaceful expression, so they may know their own inner worth and essential contribution to the whole of life. Where there are divisions of opinions, beliefs, and perspectives, Unity embraces curiosity, exploration, and expanded awareness of the gifts of diversity. Where there is fear of the other, Unity stands for inclusivity and peaceful acceptance of another's right to create the life of his or her choosing. Where there is opposition and hatred, we stand for justice and understanding and for extending compassion, kindness, and forgiveness to restore balance. Where there is discrimination, we stand for inclusivity and equality. We pledge to be an advocate for the well-being, respect, and civil freedom of every human being. Any proposal or action that seeks to discriminate against individuals or classes of individuals based on prejudice, stereotypic profiles of national origin, class, creed, race, and ethnicity, physical ability, sexual orientation, or gender identity is in opposition to the core beliefs and values established by our founders. We choose unity. I'm not quite finished. In harmony with the divine spirit, we stand, so we may live in a spiritually awakened world that is continually evolving. This is our prayer and our decree. Through our actions, we let it be. Isn't that political? Yeah. And Unity issued a statement of support for the Paris Climate Accord when President Trump withdrew. That was political. Unity has an Earth Care program. That's political. So often we in Youth Thought, we profess our sorrow and offer our form of thoughts and prayers, and we don't take action. But as the quotes from the two founders of the two major New Thought disciplines said, prayer without action isn't enough. So sometimes we say prayer is all we need, that it is sufficient. And while that is sometimes true, if the prayers be strong enough and not, diluted by what goes on around us, if the prayers are strong enough, it can be enough, but it seldom is. What we think and do and feel after the prayer is over is also our spirituality expressing. After the prayer, we need to remain in full alignment with the intention of the prayer. We need to act in a manner consistent with it. And it's a powerful way to keep ourselves centered, spiritual. So spirituality is political, without being politically motivated. If you know what I mean as far as the difference goes. And wouldn't politics be so much more effective if it were spiritually motivated? It was the spirituality of the Society of Friends, the Quakers, that was the foundation of the abolitionist movement in the U.S. And it was also the foundation of the suffragette movement. Spiritual communities have been the cornerstone of every great political movement. So politics, just the definition, is the set of activities associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations between individuals, such as the distribution of resources or status. The set of activities associated with making decisions, that's political. And aren't we involved in that? Hopefully. So spirituality should be political. When politics arise out of our spirit selves instead of our ego selves, politics will be transformed. Marianne Williamson tells us, there is no spirituality that gives anyone a pass on addressing the suffering of other sentient beings. And the Course in Miracles tells us that we can't bring light to the darkness. We have to bring the darkness into the light. Spirituality is love, and love is the only power that will heal politics. So the opportunity is not that politics could pollute our spirituality. The opportunity is that our spirituality could heal our politics. Will you join me for a few minutes of quiet contemplation? Just breathing deeply and allowing your body to relax. And allowing your mind to just observe the thoughts. When you contemplate what has just been said, just observe the thoughts that arise and watch them and let them pass. And allow the sense of inner guidance, the inner wisdom, and the essence that you are. To reveal to you what is right for you to do. What is your part in bringing about the vision of Unity's position statement? A world in which every human has the right to create a life of their own choosing. each of us as an expression of the divine. Is a manifestation of love on earth. And divinely guided, we lovingly and courageously take our stand. And breathing deeply now, just bring yourself back to an awareness of space and time. And as you're ready, open your eyes.
Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are around and all around me. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are around and all around me. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
That was hip. I don't know what to play. I've recently started playing music. Yeah, just recently. That came out a little bit different. That came out a little differently than I expected. I recently started playing some music regularly for the elders at Eden Gardens, and historically I've played piano there, but they asked if I could go neighborhood to neighborhood and play for people. Their music therapist went back to Ontario, a friend of mine, and they really like country western. They really like country western. And like anything by, what's the guy? No, it must be a long way. No. John Denver. They love John Denver. Yeah, they love John Denver. I know, but they love that too. What's that? Yeah. They like they love that. But Johnny Cash is the favorite, clearly. And it's kind of funny because I grew up with two very distinct musical backgrounds. Well, more than two, but two major ones. One was my mom, French, Walt. All this French dramatic, big loud French stuff. And then my big loud French stuff. And then my dad, which would be like, you know, you know. Like all day, like just like, and I was always like, this is a weird house. Then on Friday night, Meatloaf would come on. G-Y-3 ain't bad. No, but I've kind of always like had this weird like resistance to that era, like Johnny Cash, Hank Williams. I think it's because I did a Patsy Cline show for like 5 years and we played like 500 performances and I was going crazy. Crazy. New key. Just to make myself think. But recently playing some of these songs and just seeing how they related, how it affected people really had me rethinking my position. So I'm going to explore this today. We're going to let down my resistance to Johnny Cash. You can tell me what song this is. If I can remember how it goes. Ring of Fire. I haven't started yet. Damn it, now I have to play Folsom City Blues. I don't think you'd like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, that's when the Johnny Cash meets Keith Jarrett. Change one note. Changes the whole thing.
Thank you, Nico.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Yeah. Hey, Nico.
Do you have any of those PPDAs, man?
Man, I got the best PPDAs. Come talk to me, okay? $20, I'll get you all the PPDAs you need.
See you after
PPDAs.
service. Yeah.
See ya.
That was awesome. What really, really hit me was the thank you for reminding me of this, Patricia, that prayer isn't for out there, it's for in here, and it changes what's going on in here so that you can see differently out there. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing of prayer. Here's an idea, apparently, if I can get this to work. Volunteer opportunities. Yes. We are looking for dedicated folks to be assistant techies. Now, I think I talked about this last week. You don't need to know everything there is to know about technology in order to be of service to Kyle and his growing team of 2.
I need a camera operator next week.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Oh.
And really, just one Sunday a month, if we had enough people where one Sunday a month somebody was assisting, or 2 people were assisting, just getting into a rotation, that would be fantastic. And you can reach out to Patricia to have that. That would be really great. So anybody out there that would like to come down and assist, we'd love it. And anybody here too, this is all for all of us. After service today, the fellowship with Pat Clarkson will be taking place. There is a new ID, it was out in the newsletter, and just right here on our screens, I'm sure you can all see it here, that I think it's in the bulletin, or is it in the newsletter? It's in the newsletter, sent out by email. Coming up in Victoria, you can begin to watch the Sunday service with friends. Please join in person beginning Sunday, September 5th, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the Cook Street Village Activity Center. So that sounds exciting. Every Sunday they'll be gathering to watch the replay of service. And just getting back together where they were, once doing that on Sunday mornings, they'll be doing this in the early evening. That sounds great. Also in Victoria, Wednesday morning discussion group with Mavis. That'll be in person beginning Wednesday, September 8th from 10:30 to noon, and they'll be exploring the 12 powers through the book Divine Audacity. And September's power is strength. All are welcome, and you can leave a love offering if you do drop in. Comox Valley Picnic this Sunday. That's today, August 22nd at 12 noon. At Philburg Park. I wanted to go to that, but I have a board meeting. Which one do I want to do more? The board meeting, yeah. Exactly. No, that's today at... Thank you for reminding me of that. That's so good. August 22nd, 12, that's today, 12 noon at Philburg Park. And I don't know if you need to register anymore, but if you want more information, you can reach out to Judy Murakami. Also in the Comox Valley, Unity World Day of Prayer will be Thursday, September 9th, 2 to 4 p.m. And I think that's a Unity worldwide event, the World Day of Prayer. But they'll be getting together at the Spiritual Center that they have there in Comox Valley. I don't have the address for that. It's on Norden Avenue, but if you're in Comox Valley, you probably know where it is. And if you need more information, you can reach out to Diane for that. And Unity Canada will be joining in on this Unity Worldwide Day of Prayer, and there is a link in the newsletter that you can join in for that service, and you can register for it as well in advance. There'll be no choir this week because of Nico. Nico has some other commitments.
I have to. I'm so sorry. It's really tough, but I have to go play shows in Harrison Hot Springs and stay in a fancy hotel with my beautiful lady, and I'm gonna really feel bad about it the whole time. I'm really. In fact, you know what? That's it. I'm canceling the whole tour.
I'm texting him every 5 minutes on Monday.
No, we'll resume not
following
this
week.
following week.
Yeah, the following Monday. So no choir tomorrow night, but resuming the following week. And there's a book club continuing with Reverend Roxanne Buckle and Cheryl Rogers. It's the Bridge the Divide Book Club. That is, next session is August 26th, 9 to 10:30 a.m., assuming that specific time. And it's the second and fourth Thursdays of the month. And right now they are working through Indian Horse by Richard Wagamese. Registration is not required. There's a Zoom link in our newsletter. You can join anytime on one of those Thursdays. And Tuesdays at 7 p.m. is Behind the Scenes, a weekly update. There's a meeting ID, again, in the news link, and I may try to be there this Tuesday, so I actually know what happens at those, so I can relieve you of some of that. Again, in the newsletter is the link for that. Meditations, get grounded, stay connected throughout the week, so that's Monday to Saturday with Reverend Patricia on our Facebook page, and then on Sunday morning, pre-service at 10 a.m., there will be a meditation held on our Facebook page as well. Just go to Unity Vancouver Island Facebook. And you don't even have to be registered with Facebook to join a Facebook service. You don't need to commit to anything Facebook associated. You can just join the link. And today there will be a celebration of life for Brent King. That's 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. at Piper's Lagoon, 4747 Lost Lake Road. And I think I'll be joining there after service.
4747 Lost Lake Road is the home at 2 o'clock.
Oh, it's at 2 o'clock. Thank you. Okay. It says 1 to 2 p.m.
1 o'clock at Piper's Lagoon,
Ah,
followed by 2
got it. Here we go. Let's. So, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock today, you can go to Piper's Lagoon for the service, and then from 2 o'clock onward, we'll be at the home, which is at 4747 Lost Lake Road. Thank you, Patricia, for clarifying that. Today's prayer guide is Iris, so anybody that is present here that would like to join in prayer with Iris, you can do so right after service. And gratitude today is for the the fabulous deep cleaning team.
Oh yeah.
I love that. So that's Sharon and Sally and Beverly and Iris and Gilles and Jacques and Brenda. Thank you. Sounds pretty fabulous. And so financial abundance. What I've come to realize is this center is incredibly abundant, not just in finance, but in community, in people's contribution, in people's willingness to volunteer, in prayer, in health, in joy, in celebration. This is an amazing place, and it is growing across Vancouver Island, and we always need to ask again for financial support, because without the support of all of our members, we would not be able to facilitate these services. We would not be able to pay our minister or our staff, etc. So we say thank you to everybody that has donated in the past. And if you're in a position to donate in the future, you can do so at donations@unityvancouverisland.com. And if you have the ability to volunteer for something, please come forward and let us know what that is that you can do. So thank you very much to all of you. I applaud. And please join me in our abundance affirmation. The infinite and eternal supply of all good things awaits my acceptance. Knowing my worthiness, I accept, use, share, and release, trusting that I am always abundantly provided for.
Breathe through me, oh blessed Spirit, breathe through me, breathe through me, breathe. blessed Spirit, speak through me. Speak through me. Speak through me. Oh, blessed Spirit, speak through me. Live through me, live through me. Oh, blessed Spirit, live through me, live through me, live through me. Oh, blessed Spirit, live through me.
And join me for the vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And for our children's blessing, we see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. And now for our prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With love at our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take